From our last narration, we learned how after Jesus' baptism, the Spirit of God led him into the wilderness, where he fasted for 40 days. And at the end of that fast, Satan came when he was his lowest physical strength possible and tempted him 3 times. But Satan was not able to have power over him and failed in 3 attempts to tempt him. And shortly after that, Jesus came into a city called Capernaum, which was at the top of the Sea of Galilee. And he was teaching one Sabbath day in a synagogue. A synagogue was a Jewish worship center. And he was teaching there, and the people were surprised at the power of his teaching. And there was a man there in the synagogue who was demonized, who was possessed by an evil spirit. And he cried out to Jesus with a loud voice, and he said, "Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, Jesus of Nazareth. You're the Holy One of God." And Jesus rebuked the spirit and said, "Be silent, come out of him." And when the demon had thrown the man to the ground, the demon left him and the man was unhurt. And the people were absolutely amazed. They said, "What is this word that even the demons obey him and come out?" And his fame spread through all of that area. Another time Jesus was out in a boat with his disciples. As you remember, most of them were fishermen. And he went across from the area of Galilee to the other side of the sea, and to the land where the Gerasenes lived. And as Jesus stepped out of the boat onto the land, this man came rushing up to him. And the man was totally naked. Before I tell you what happened, let me tell you a bit about this man. This man had been demonized by many demons. And they bothered him to such an extent, he quit living in his home and actually lived among the tombs where people were buried. And the people had tried to help him, and they would set a guard over him. They even bound him and put him in shackles, but he would always break these bounds and run off to the desert. So there was no way the people could help him at all, and he was in a totally horrible state. And so this is the man that came running up to Jesus, and Jesus told the demons to come out of him. And so the demons said to him, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High?" And so the demons begged Jesus not to send them to the abyss, which is a place reserved where demons will eventually spend eternity. And on a hillside there by the Sea of Galilee was a herd of pigs. And so they begged Jesus to allow them to go into the pigs instead of to the abyss. And Jesus gave his permission. And so the demons left the man and threw him down and inhabited the pigs. And then that hillside, the part of the hill facing the sea, was a steep embankment, and the pigs rushed off that embankment into the ocean, and they all drowned. Well, the men that were herding the pigs were shaken out of their boots, and they ran back to the city and the whole area around and told the people what had happened. So all the people came out to see this incredible thing, and because they were greatly afraid. And they came and they saw this man, whom they knew in the past had been demonized and troubled greatly. They found him clothed and in his right mind, sitting at the feet of Jesus. And so they begged Jesus to leave because they just thought he would just turn their lives upside down. And so Jesus got into the boat with his fishermen, and they were getting ready to leave. And the man who had been healed, he begged Jesus, "Let me come with you." And Jesus said no. This is what he said to him. He said, "Return to your home and declare how much God has done for you." And he went away, proclaiming throughout the whole city how much Jesus had done for him. And there was one other instance like this that I wanted to share with you. One day Jesus was up a mountain with three of his friends, had a real interesting experience up there. Doesn't figure into our narration today. But when he came down from the mountain, people recognized who it was. And when they saw Jesus, in those days his fame had spread, and a crowd would immediately gather around him. They wanted to hear what he was teaching, and they wanted to see the healings that he was performing. And in this crowd, a man yelled out and said, "Teacher, teacher, I beg you to look at my son." And so this man comes up to Jesus and he says, "This demon comes on to my son, and he's my only child, and the demon seizes him and convulses him, and he foams at the mouth, and he falls down on the ground." And Jesus said, well, bring him. And so they're bringing this man's son to Jesus, and the demons take over, and they convulse the young boy and throw him to the ground. And Jesus goes up to the boy, and he rebukes the unclean spirit, and he heals the boy and gives back the father his healed son. And all the people that saw this were astonished at the majesty of God. So there's something I hope you notice from these three different instances when Jesus healed people of being demonized. And what I want you to notice is he did all of these healings by the word of his mouth. God bless you.